The I-Pace isn't just a pure electric vehicle.
It's also kind of an SUV, but more importantly, it's a Jaguar.
To kick things off, here's a scintillating gaggle of numbers. Let's see. The I-Pace has an estimated 240-mile range, a 4.5-second 0 to 60 time, a top speed of 124 miles per hour, a 5-year 60,000-mile warranty, and an underfloor 90 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack featuring an 8-year 100,000-mile battery warranty. Charging that battery with a standard household outlet is possible, but a terrible idea. We tried it from a Friday night to Monday morning and only racked up 118 miles of range. With a 240-volt charger, 0 to 100% takes 12.9 hours. Use a 50-kilowatt DC fast charger, and 80% comes after only 90 minutes. Exploiting the battery pack's electrons are 2 electric motors, one for the front tires and one for the back, producing a cumulative 394 horsepower and buckets of torque. With their powers combined, acceleration is instant and intense.
How intense? When you floor it, the nose of the car rises noticeably. Maybe some nuance of the suspension is a contributing factor, but it's dramatic nonetheless.
Adding to the drama is a fake futuristic soundtrack. I personally dig it, but if you want to turn it off, follow along. Hit Settings, All Settings, Features, scroll down, tap Active Sound Design, and then choose Calm. Easy, right? While you're at it, swipe left from the home menu to adjust the Jag's regenerative braking intensity.
With high regen, you rarely need to use the brakes. Just come off the pedal and you slow down. Hard. Like you're using the brakes.
For my taste, the low regen setting feels better. What can I say? I like pressing a brake pedal.
Speaking of, at the top portion of the pedal's travel, there's an area that's light and spongy and not much happens. But if you push through that, you will indeed slow down, though doing it smoothly requires a delicate touch. Yes, you have a delicate touch, yeah. I'm push the brake and indeed I'm slowing it down. One other oddity, with your feet off the pedals on a hill, the I-Pace will roll backwards. If you want to avoid that, activate creep mode.
With its upright stance, climbing aboard the I-Pace is effortless. You might think that height would limit its sporting potential,
but it really doesn't. The underfloor battery pack contributes to a low center of gravity, while quick steering and stout road holding generate genuine driving fun. And now needless acceleration. Whee!
Fun aside, the ride is commendably refined, with suspension elements swiped from the Jaguar F-Type and an air suspension nabbed from Land Rover. It can drop 0.4 inches on the freeway for improved aerodynamics or raise high enough to ford nearly 20 inches of water. Here's the B-roll to prove it. The I-Pace's grille, head, and taillights confirm its jagginess, but there are other fun details. Like all premium electric cars, there are pop-out door handles. Thanks, Tesla. And yes, I recognize the Jaguar F-Type had pop-out handles long before the I-Pace arrived. Nevertheless, thanks, Tesla. At the tail, there's an optionally powered hatch that's roomy despite nearly horizontal glass. For even more space, drop the seats. There's also a front trunk, but it's tiny.
I don't know, maybe you can store your video awards in here. Hey, editor, do we have an appropriate graphic for this moment? Yeah, that'll work.
Inside, cabin functionality is a mixed bag. The rear center armrest cup holders are unsettlingly shallow, so maybe keep an eye on hot beverages. Up front, the volume control is a long reach.
At first I thought it might be a right-hand drive English thing, but then if you're seated here, the start button would be way across on this side. I think maybe they just wanted the knobs to align. Either way, I'm too classy to lean slightly to the right. Mike, can you get that for me? Perfect.
Elsewhere, I'm fine controlling the climate with this screen, but certain sun angles make it impossible to see. Meanwhile, the temperature knob works like you'd expect, but it can also be pushed or pulled to access fan speed along with the seat heating and cooling functions.
There's a short pause after you pull or push before the secondary function is activated, and you have to visually confirm, oh, I'm using the fan or I'm controlling the seats down here. there are more intuitive ways to make sure you're temperate while driving.
Below the climate controls, you'll find a helpful bin. There are seatback map pockets if you still use physical maps, and the center console hold is large with a removable cup holder featuring a rubberized cover you can use as a landing pad for your phone. For passengers, there's good head and legroom in front and in back. Even though it has a firm seat back, the middle spot is a workable position for brief jaunts. Most charming of all are the material choices. The available carbon fiber trim is nice, and I love a suede steering wheel, but look at that optional premium textile material.
It's a bit abrasive for where I rest my arms, but it looks fabulous.
If there's a truly polarizing element, it's the standard glass roof. That's the kind of feature that seems cool until summer arrives, transforming your car into a greenhouse.
No problem, I will just pull the shade. Is what you would say if there was a shade.
Granted, the glass is deeply tinted, but for me, an unrelenting sun would eventually obscure the novelty of perpetual sky. A bit more than $70,000, including destination charges, gets you a basic I-Pace S trim with blind spot monitoring, keyless access, automatic emergency braking, a range of drive modes, a vivid 12.3-inch gauge cluster display, and a 10-inch infotainment system supporting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration.
Depending on what you're searching for, the menu structure can feel overly complex, and in my experience, response times are awfully slow. Might be time for an update. If only I knew how to do that.
Higher trims feature LED headlights, adaptive cruise control with steering assist, heated and ventilated leather seats, and a 360-degree camera system. Load up the top HSE trim, like our test car here, with a head-up display, adaptive suspension, 22-inch wheels, 4-zone climate control, carbon fiber exterior trim, and an activity key for living a radical active lifestyle without harming the standard key, and the MSRP can top $93,000. Keep in mind there's also a $7,500 federal tax credit and potential state incentives to help offset that sum. If you're shopping electric SUVs, your prime choice is the larger and pricier Tesla Model X with its dazzling Falcon doors. Treat the I-Pace like a car instead, and there are many cheaper alternatives. Then again, if you've watched this whole video, you probably want something special. Among electric cars, many are soulless and sterile. This electrified Jag is anything but.
It has tons of character. Like the most interesting people you know, the Jaguar I-Pace has its flaws and its charms, but it's impossible to ignore.